This is Mavericks All Access with Omaha Athletics, hosted by Anna Bellinghausen.
Welcome into Mavericks All Access. I'm Anna Bellinghausen, your host, alongside volleyball head coach Matt Buttermore and senior setter Sami Clarkson. Guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course.
Good to be here.
Coach, congrats to you, first of all, signing a multi-year contract extension. What does it mean to you being coach for this 4 years and then also being named for that multi-year extension?
It seems longer than 4 years in some ways because with all the COVID stuff, and then in some ways it seems like we just moved to Omaha. So it's been it's been fun the last year and a half, spending more time on the program in the future, and not digging through COVID regulations and worries. So I just feel like we're kind of getting our legs under us in some ways, and so is everybody else around the country. So I'm excited to keep working with this administration and our student athletes, and keep building. So just happy to be here.
And Sami, congratulations to you. Season's not over yet, but you just had your senior day recently. What was that moment like for you out on the court getting honored?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's like, how does it feel? Well, it really feels the same. We're playing next week, just focus on the next thing. But the only moment that was, made it set in for me was standing up there with those frames. I was the last one. So we were all standing there. I looked down the line and I was like, wow, I've seen 3 classes of different seniors do this. And then I never really thought it would be me. And so it was that moment was surreal. And then everyone comes in and takes a picture. And I'm like, wow, this is just not right.
It seems like it went fast.
Yes, for sure.
Everyone, I feel like, says that. It feels like college just flies by and all of a sudden you're a senior out there. Well, like you mentioned, the season's not over yet. The Summit League tournament is right here at Baxter Arena. Number 2 seed for Omaha. What does it mean hosting at Baxter and having that just home advantage, sleeping in your own beds and everything like that?
I think we have a great venue. I think we have a venue built for this kind of event. I just literally came from a meeting, and we're going over the video review angles. We can do 7 camera feeds. We're actually better set up than a lot of gyms in the conference, just to host a championship event just on the court. So, and then we have Omaha. It's a volleyball town, so I don't think the conference would let us host every year, but they should. And for us, this is it's a bummer for last year's seniors. They don't get to play here, but it is the result of a lot of hard work and a reward, and to get to play here in front of our fans and in an environment we really like, and get after it.
And Sami, for you being a student athlete and just getting to, again, sleep in your own bed and have a Thanksgiving at home this time, what does it mean to you not having to go on the road?
Yeah, I think it's extra special, especially since this is the first time, just being able to be a part of that team last year and this year, and show those younger girls what the goal of actually winning is, and these are the rewards we get to reap from it. So yeah, and then all the little things like sleeping in your own bed and getting to eat our normal food and just being together a little bit more will be great.
And you guys have a bye for those quarterfinals. How important is that for just the confidence of the team and just being well rested?
Yeah, I think rest is the big part this time of year. So, there's good and bad about it. I think, you get to play that day. We don't have a huge roster, so sometimes our games can be, we have some coaches playing in practice and stuff like that. So a game can be a little better practice for us than our practice sometimes. So, but in terms of just rest and be feeling fresh those last 2 days, I think it's a big deal. And it just makes our week a little less compressed. The girls have time to kind of decompress. It's busy academic time for them, so we get a little buffer, mentally in a lot of ways. I think that's a big deal too.
Mentally for you right now, and physically, how does your team feel overall?
Yeah, I think super good. I mean, coming to the end here, I feel like we're peaking, at the right time, and just meshing really well together. I mean, we know exactly what it takes. We've been in these situations before earlier this year in non-conference or whatnot, and playing tough teams in the conference this year. So I feel like we're prepared, and it's just time to show up, especially in practices, and then when it's game time.
So you guys went on an 8-match win streak.
Practice.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Coach likes that. 8-match win streak throughout the season. You guys didn't drop a set in 6 matches. What went into that streak? We'll start with you, Sami.
Yeah, I mean, streak, no streak, whatever. I mean, we were just doing what we always do, trying to just prepare in the gym and get better. And then we were just executing at a high level at that time. So a lot of things that we were preparing were coming out in the games. And I think it was a good little mental challenge for us. You know, when people started catching on and talking about it a lot, it's like, all right, how do we stay focused on what we're doing? It's not about, you know, winning every single set. You know, it's just performing the best we can and getting better every day. So we're hoping that shows up now, you know, that hard work that we put in earlier.
Coach, for you, what kind of consistency did you see from your team throughout the entire season, especially that streak?
You know, it's interesting. I thought we did different things well every night, so I don't know. Sometimes I didn't feel like we were very consistent in terms of what we were doing on the court, but the results obviously were. So I think the big thing for that is we started out we called it the rodeo trip, and we had Denver, Tulsa, Kansas City. And so, and we knew it would be an important trip no matter what happened that first weekend. And so, sometimes you get a schedule like that, you're like, that could be a schedule loss at the end of that trip. So, you know, how do we buy into what we're doing? We had some fun. We had theme days. The team did a great job of not, you know, moaning and complaining about being on the road all week. We just had fun together. We built in some team bonding stuff. And I think that's what I remember from the streak. I don't actually remember how many games we won after that, to be honest. I'd have to go look.
Yeah. So. And for you, that team bonding and everything like that, how close is this team right now?
I mean, you just can't describe it. It's just a really cool thing to be a part of. I think, you know, that's why I wanted to play a team sport in college. And we're just best friends, and we get to be together. And I think a lot of that is the hard work we put into the culture in the front half. Like Coach is saying, we just enjoyed being together. We enjoyed being in the hotel. Those, like, awkward long stretches of time, it was just like, you know, it was never a drag. It was just exciting to be together and just hang out.
Well, now this team has an opportunity to clinch a spot in the NCAA tournament with the championship win here in conference. It would be the first one in the Division I history here in Omaha. Coach, we'll start with you. What do you think it would mean just to this program and the city for Omaha to clinch a spot like that in the tournament?
It would be great, you know. I think I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. So
most coaches don't.
You know, I don't. I really haven't. I think, you know, we have, you know, 3 Division I programs in the state. You get a third one that's going to the tournament pretty regularly. That's pretty special for the volleyball in the area and in the state. And so I think that's kind of the first thing I think about. I think for the school, you know, we've had some great support this year, and just, you know, kind of seeing that success on the court as a result of all that would be really neat. And to reward our fans, you know, come out and watch us this Thanksgiving, and you know, we'll do our best to reward you guys with a great performance and, you know, seeing something special on Saturday.
And Sami, being a senior, how important is it for you, for this team to go as far as you can, and, I mean, hopefully at the end clinching that spot?
Yeah, I mean, I want to play as many more games as I can, and this is why I came here. I mean, I came here to make it to the NCAA tournament. We haven't done it yet, and so I don't want to leave it till it's over, and I think this team is ready and prepared, and we were right there last year, and to gone through that, and I've played in two finals now, and to have come out on the wrong side of it, like, I'm ready to be on the right side now.
How much does that experience help you in those situations, especially right now when it's crunch time in the tournament?
Yeah, I think just being through it before is helpful, but I think mostly just as much as I can help my teammates who haven't. You know, we have a few freshmen playing this year, or girls that necessarily haven't been in those situations. So I just think it helps me remain calm and just hopefully convey that, like, composure to the other girls, and we'll just stick together, focus on what really matters. You know, it's not all these outside things. We're just playing a volleyball game like we do every day, and we just got to get better and do those little things, because that's what ends up winning in the end. It's not like this huge momentum because we had this big crowd here. It's how we're going to perform on that day.
Coach, growth for your team throughout the season. What have you seen from day one when these women walked in versus right now, of where they are mentally and physically to get to this point and have a number 2 seed in the Summit League tournament?
Yeah, I think we had some losses early, so, you know, I think we bounced back from that really well. I think we did a good job of, you know, after preseason, we thought, you know, we had a real good shot to win the regular season championship, and that didn't happen, and that's on us. And I think we did a great job of bouncing back from that, hanging tough down the stretch, and we got a little help there at the end. Depends how you look at it. But we were able to secure the second seed. So that growth from them, I thought we saw a team really making a lot of really good decisions on Saturday. And so the mental growth is there. And I think, our goal is to out-team the other team. So, I think we've seen that through a lot of the stretches this year. The times we haven't been as successful as when we haven't done that. So, if you come out and watch us, let's watch for that, see how we do. So I also like to plug the tournament one more time. I mean, there could be 2 5-set matches every day. We got a lot of good teams, really well-coached teams. I think everybody's probably gone 4 or 5 with each other this year at some point already. So It's going to be a lot of exciting volleyball.
Yeah, looking at your side of the bracket, so Omaha would face North Dakota State or North Dakota. North Dakota State being number 3 seed, and then North Dakota being number 6. Omaha obviously at number 2. Both teams you've lost to North Dakota State before, also beat them, and then swept North Dakota twice. Is there a matchup you're necessarily looking forward to, or is there just so much confidence with this team, like, hey, it doesn't matter who we draw, we're just going to play our game?
I think people were asking us about seeding last week, and I was like, I don't know who we want to play right now, to be honest. So, I don't know which team is going to come in here hot. South Dakota State's won 7 straight. North Dakota State has been, just really impressive at stretches. Just look really, really good. North Dakota's having, a great turnaround year. They do really well serve and pass, and so they can control the game that way. So every team, I'm pointing at the bracket right here. Every team, I see just different challenges with every team. And so, we've already started game planning and or just revising game plans really, but I just see different challenges, and we're going to be, and I think that's why the mental side of our growth this year, we're going to need to see that this weekend, because we can't just roll out the same game plan every day.
Sami, from your perspective, looking at the bracket and what you see of every team that you may face, and if you look at the other side, obviously South Dakota is there as number 1. From your veteran perspective, how do you make up this bracket and what it could mean to this Omaha team?
Yeah, I think this year has been really unique to the last few years that I've been here. Just everyone is so competitive. Teams coming out like like Coach was saying, North Dakota this year having a great year, and South Dakota State being hot the last, in the tournament last year, and who knows what could happen this year. I think we've seen, some teams perform really well under that pressure at the end of the season, and it depends how much you've grown. And so I don't really, I would love to play those teams that we haven't beat or that we ended with a loss on, because, you just want to have that rematch. But it doesn't matter. Like Coach was saying, we're just focused on our team and us showing up, and we can beat anyone out there.
And Coach, systematically for you, what do you want to see out of your team in the late stages of this, going into the conference tournament, of where you want your X's and O's to be systematically, and just, do you want this fine-tuned right now, or what are you looking for most as a coach?
Fine-tuned would be great.
Yeah.
I think at this point of the year, it's trusting what we've worked on all year, and it's remembering. We always say we got to remember to win. It's kind of a play on words. So you got to remember to win. So we have to remember what we're doing out there, whether it's habits in our general system or something we're doing in our scout. So and then trusting each other and trusting themselves in the big moments, and when we do that, we're pretty tough.
Sami, for you as a senior, what's your message to the younger girls on the team and just giving them confidence to head into this tournament with no fear?
Yeah, I think we're totally prepared. So I want us to just really feel that this week. Like, we're working hard every day in practice, and then that's why we can feel prepared, and that's why we can feel that confidence, because of everything that we've done, especially in the practice, but also in the games that we've played. And then just I obviously, like, being here for a little bit longer, have a little bit perspective on just like enjoying these moments. Like, these are really big moments, and this is what we train for. So let's just like enjoy where we're at and have fun together, because like when us 13 are just focused on each other, that's when we're playing our best volleyball. So yeah, I just want us to be confident in what we've prepared for.
For sure. Last question for you. Maybe it's a tough one. How do you reflect back on your Omaha career being a senior and just seeing all of this come to fruition?
Yeah, I think it probably won't all come together until I'm actually done, or maybe when they start practices and I'm not there, that'll feel a little weird. But yeah, I'm just really grateful. Like, this was my dream to play here and to play in front of my family and friends, and just for this community and this coaching staff and all the girls. So I'm just really grateful that I got to live out my dream, and it's been, everything I could have expected and more. So, yeah, I'm just really thankful for the time.
And Coach Buttermore, you'll be a face of Omaha volleyball for a while to come. What kind of dynasty do you want to build here in Omaha?
A good one. We're just trying to get a little better every week, every year, and so that's our goal. Whether it's recruiting, it's how we develop our student athletes, building relationships, what we do on the back end administratively, all those things are just what can be a little bit better next year, or a lot better in some cases. And so I've never really thought about those kinds of things. Maybe every once in a while after a season, but the more you stop and look up, the slower you are. So we're just focused on getting a little better this week.
All right, well, big games coming up. We'll see who Omaha faces. It'll be North Dakota State or North Dakota. Sami, Coach, thank you so much for joining me. This has been Mavericks All Access with Anna Bellinghausen.